Hey guys, it's Kimberlee, and today we are going to be doing another challenge video. I just think that they have been the most fun thing to do recently, and I am going to be doing the palette bingo again, which is a video that is inspired by Annette's Makeup Corner, who is another YouTuber, and one of my subscribers recommended that I do this challenge, and I did. So if you want to go check it out, then you can go look at that. But another viewer, Jenna Heaven 123, left a comment on that video saying that next time I should try to pick a different palette for every eyeshadow color. So I thought that would be fun. So I am going to do that today, do kind of like the same format, but I'm gonna pick 5 different eyeshadow palettes and do one shadow from each of them to create a look. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna go right to my app here and let's take a spin for the palette number 1. Okay, so palette number 1 is going to be Wonderlust. That is this palette right here from Profusion. And let's spin for palette number 2. Okay, so palette number 2 is going to be Tarte Rainforest of the Sea 2. And that is going to be this palette right here. Let's spin for number 3. So palette number 3 is going to be the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe collaboration, but the first palette. That would be this dirty palette right here. Love that palette. And let's roll for number 4. So number 4 is going to be Jawbreaker right there. And let's see what the final palette is going to be. Dark Magic. Okay, so the final and 5th palette is going to be a Jaclyn Hill Volt collection palette, and that is the Dark Magic palette. That is this palette right here. Dark Magic is the dark green themed palette. Okay, so we have 5 palettes right here, and honestly, I feel like maybe 5 was too many, but that's okay. We're going with it. I'm committed, and there kind of is a wide variety of shades here, so let's see what we got. I might have to get kind of creative with this. So we're gonna go to the first palette that I picked, and that is the Profusion Wonderlust palette. And just like I did in my other palette bingo, I'm going to say, starting from the top left, this is gonna be shade number 1, and then we're just gonna go down the line like that. And I'm going to bring up my random number generator. So this is a 21 pan palette, so I'm going to say from number 1 to 21, and I'm gonna have that generate a number. All right, and we got number 10. Shade number 10 is this shade right here called Jade. It's like a metallic-y green shade. Let me swatch it for you right there. So this is shade number 1. Now let's go into our second palette. Palette number 2 is this palette right here, the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette from Tarte. This is a pretty neutral palette, so let's see what we get from here. I am going to start at the top as shade number 1 and then clockwise. This is an 8 pan palette, so we're gonna go from shades 1 through 8 and have it generate a number. And we got shade 8, so that is going to be this shade right here, Pearl. And let's get a swatch of that one. So that is shade number 2. Okay, this is looking like it could end up being kind of tricky, but let's keep it rolling. So this palette right here, the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe, the first one, is our 3rd palette, and this is a 35 pan palette. So let's just get a number here. And we got number 13, so let's see what that is. So this shade right here is going to be shade 13, so this is looking like it's going to be complicated for me. let's see. So we've got a green, a red, and a white, so it's looking like Christmas. Let's move on to the next palette. The next palette is the Jawbreaker palette, so we could get a totally another weird color. I am so hoping that's not the case, but this is the palette. This is a 24 pan palette, so let's put in 1 through 24, and let's get a number. 6 is the number, so, okay. 6 is the number, so that will be this one right here, which is Licorice, which is a matte red. So that will go with our fiery red shade. So maybe not so bad. So those are 4 shades right there. And then we have one more shade from one more palette, and that is the Dark Magic palette from Jaclyn Hill from the Volt collection. And these are mainly greens, so it's looking like a red and a green eye, but let's give it a shot. This is a 10 pan palette, so I'm going to put 1 through 10, and let's give it a little roll. And we got shade number 8, which is Inside Job right there, which is a, wrong hand, gotta swatch it this hand, which is a matte green. So, kind of looking like an interesting color story. This is what we've got right here. And we've got a metallic green, a metallic red, a matte red, and a metallic white. I don't really know where I'm gonna go with this, and this is not my strong suit, but that's what makes it fun. My creativity with looks using random colors is kind of somewhere I lack. I don't really mix a lot of random colors together. I've said it before on my channel, I do like to play with color, but I usually lean on the side of monochromatic. So it is definitely, I don't know, it is definitely like outside of my comfort zone to be using colors like this. So let's just see where this takes us. Okay, so I am going to go in with the Jawbreaker palette first. So we're gonna go in with this Licorice shade. I think that I'm going to do a red lid with a green lower lash line, and then do the white as kind of like inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. I think that's kind of where I want to go with this. So I'm just gonna use some brushes that I already had stained with those colors because I don't want to stain. These red pigments sometimes can seriously stain your brushes, especially if it's white bristles. So that's why it looks dirty already. Let's zoom you in and get on with this look. Okay, so I'm gonna dip into a little bit of Licorice, and I'm just gonna put this all in the crease. I don't have a lot of different matte shades to play with, so we're just gonna have to start small and build our way up. Jeffree shadows can be kind of hard to do that with, considering they are so pigmented, but that's what we got today. Yeah. I like barely dipped in, and there's so much pigment happening. So now that I have that blended into the crease, I'm gonna go in with my next shade from the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Volume 1 palette, and that is this shade right there. And I'm just gonna go with my finger and put that all over the lid. I'm just gonna go back in with my brush and blend the edges out. I would have loved to have a deeper matte red shade to kind of go into the corner, but we're not working with that today, so this is what we've got. Yeah, looking pretty monochromatic, but this is where it gets interesting. I'm gonna go in to the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette, and this palette has the Inside Job, which is the dark matte green. And I'm gonna take that on a little pencil brush and run it along my lower lash line, but probably maybe like 3/4 of the way in, and then leaving the inner corner blank. So I'm just gonna dip into a little bit of that and see how this goes. I really enjoy green as a pop of color on the lower lash line. I did a green lower lash line when I used the Taco palette from Glamlight, and I loved that, but it was like a bright, fun lime green. I feel like since this green is so dark, it's not exactly what I would go for, but those are the rules. So just like that. And then I'm gonna go in with the Profusion palette, the Wonderlust Profusion palette. And I'm gonna use the same little pencil and go into this metallic green shade Jade. And I'm gonna do that on my lower lash line from the inner corner and just kind of blend it into that matte shade right there. I'm hoping the metallic will bring some brightness and kind of open the eyes up since it is so dark under the lower lash line. I really like the metallicness, and I feel like it makes it just a shade lighter. So I'm actually gonna pull this out pretty far along the lower lash line. I really like that actually. Definitely could look worse. So now I'm gonna go in with the very last shade that I have to use, and that is in the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. The shade Pearl right here, and I'm just gonna go in with a little detail brush. It's a JH42 brush, and I'm just gonna go in on the inner corner and the brow bone just to give it a pop. Oh, that is really pigmented. Maybe bring that in a little bit, kind of just blend it into this red shade to brighten things up. So that is the one eye. Super dark, super dramatic, but I have a feeling it might not look as crazy once I do the other eye and put some lashes on. So let me do that and I will be right back. All right, so that is both eyes done. I put on some mascara, some liner, and D-Star lashes in the style Kimberlee. So I just feel like that adds so much to the look, and honestly, it makes it look so much better. A nice pair of lashes can save almost anything, and I don't know, I like it. I like the look. I definitely would not have picked out these colors to pair together, but that's kind of the whole point, so I do enjoy that. I'm feeling Christmassy, so there's that. I don't know, like I just feel like something about red and green, I mean, they definitely make each other pop because they are opposites on the color wheel, but every time red and green is together, I mean, Christmas, right? Especially this type of red and green, like a forest green and like a darker, like mid-tone red. I feel like that is just Christmas. If it was like lime green, then it might give a different vibe, but I don't know. I feel like though, if you were going to like a night fun Christmas party, like an ugly Christmas sweater party or something, like this would be it. I love it. But if you're not doing that and it's the middle of summer, maybe it's like not the look. But overall, I had a really fun time doing this, and I like that I got to combine so many shades that I wouldn't combine, especially because I never use this many eyeshadow palettes all at once. I will use more than one eyeshadow palette to create a look, but usually I'm not picking one shadow from 5 different palettes. You know, that's a little excessive, but that's like what makes this fun, and I definitely will do it again. But overall, I absolutely love the way it came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions for new videos for me to do in the future, leave them down below. And if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!